Wow. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. My name is Isaac James. Of course, you know me. I know you. You're in this league. I'm too. It has been, God, months. Since May at least. And for some of you, you've never seen a bubble report. I'm going to keep the name for all of these. For the people in the basketball league, it's been since May. We did the last one at Carolina Beach. But yeah, for those unfamiliar, I'm gonna go through the fantasy leagues and shit. We are now in Minneapolis. You all got the house tour, but this is my room. I got the lights up. We're doing the fade thing. You know how it is. Let's do a little season preview of football. How about it? The MFL, Midwest fucking losers. I am co-commish, along with Gavin Sparks. And we'll go through everything. We'll go through all 12 teams and the power rankings that ESPN put out and the first week's matchups. But before we do that, of course, I want to touch on the other leagues. Now we have four different leagues. So what I think I will do as basketball starts again and hockey eventually starts, I'm going to make one video for all leagues and just put it out into all those snap groups. But for right now, football is the only one that's just starting, but we have one that's just ending. Baseball has been in the playoffs, and I'm going to go quick because it's just me versus Lucas in the championship. Lucas was a wild card team as Walter and beat Shu's cousin Ryan in the wild card game, then beat the number one overall seed, the Double D's Hunter Lewis, and now he's in the championship against me, reigning champion Bomba Boys. Don't get it twisted. Beat Shu's Hainam Shibaras in the semifinal, and now it's me versus Lucas. That will run until next Sunday. I think the 19th. We'll crown a champion then, and that's a $40 buy-in, so that's a decent chunk of change. But yeah, that's not what this video is about. Just wanted to touch on it, and as those other leagues get going, we're going to have different segments. So these videos will get long, just so you know. It'll be primetime viewing, though. All right, let's talk about some football. How about it? Yeah? Let's do it. So, tomorrow, Thursday, first game of the NFL season for 2021. It's Cowboys-Buccaneers. So make sure your lineups are set before then. Obviously, we'll have a game on Thursday almost every week, and then Sunday, the bulk of things, and then Monday Night Football. This week, there will be two Monday Night Football games. I don't remember what they are, but week one, they always do that. Let's talk about the divisions and the setup of this league itself, because this is the debut of the MFL. We have the Metro Division and the Outstate Division. The reason it's named that way is because that's what Minnesota's high school all-star game calls their teams, Metro and the Outstate. The Metro Division, it works out really well. The six people that live in the Twin Cities are the ones that are in the Metro Division, and the people outstate could live in Rochester, Gavin's in Mason City, Graham is in Texas, yeah, there's a lot of others. You know who you are. I know who you are, but I'm just got through 8.5 hours of meetings straight and just went to record, so my brain's kind of fried. Gonna do it anyway. All right, scoring formats, full PPR. I've said this before the draft, but just so you guys know, when you're going to pick defense / special teams, that's what it says, like D/ST. It's only special teams, like the defensive scoring categories for those like team defenses. I have gone in manually and taken all of those scoring abilities out. That's why we have single defensive players. So when you're picking a team, you are picking their special teams. They can only earn points for you based on punt returns, kick returns, if they block a kick or a punt, things like that. I have to go in and check and see if they do total defensive yards, but I do believe that I've taken that out. I will put it in the Snapchat after this video gets uploaded because I'm going to have to check that. Okay, so ESPN for football, this is not something they do for any other league, releases what they call final standing projections, which will change throughout the year. They've already changed a little bit based off of when they released them first right after the draft. We had a couple big injuries and just a couple of changes that I can't really explain to you. So I did not create these rankings, ESPN did, but I'm going to use them, of course, and we're going to start from number 12 and go to number 1. And I just did a quick look through everybody's team and little breaks between meetings today. So these are just my thoughts off of looking at your team for 30 seconds. Obviously, I'm not Nostradamus, but I feel like I know a little bit about fantasy football. We all do. So let's roll. We're going to start with number 12, the 6th ranked team in Outstate. belongs to none other than Mr. Robert Schmidt and Hot Chubb Time Machine. He's already had like 4 different names, but I think he's settled on Hot Chubb Time Machine, named for the man from Cleveland, Mr. Nick Chubb. It looks like, I think, Robert is planning for the future. His first 2 moves, I think he's only had 2 moves so far, were immediately to pick up guys that are hurt and stash them on his IR. Rashad Bateman and Cam Akers, 2 young guys, and one from Minnesota, wrote about Skyamago Gophers. Your wide receiving core, no, buddy, no, it's not great. Not great, brother. But Lamar Jackson is on this team. He's got a couple of really good running backs. Gus Edwards is a huge pickup now that J.K. Dobbins is hurt. How the Ravens go, Robert goes, sort of. And for every team, I'm going to do like an over-under rated based off of where their standing projection is. Robert's 12, so you can't be overrated. But yeah, I just don't really see it, Robert. I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, I root for your success, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Number 11, New Brunswick, Brain Damage, Dylan Hilliker, 6th ranked in Metro. I'm actually going to pull up his team. Robert, you kind of got the short end of the stick there. I didn't pull up your team on my laptop, but I'm going to do that for the rest of them. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, Dylan's team, Jalen Hurts, Dalvin Cook, Mike Davis, running back out of Atlanta, and then the big thing for him, his wide receiving core is sick. Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, tight ends Noah Fant, flexes reigning Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith, and then the defensive guys I really don't care because they don't really like get that many points. Defensive players are gonna earn you more points than a standard like D/ST would in a normal fantasy league, but I don't know. They seem like they're pretty expendable. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Obviously the Bills D for Dylan, that's huge. So really I think overall, like 11th overall, I think is probably low for Dylan because he has Jalen Hurts and also has Trevor Lawrence. I feel like one of those guys is going to go off and they're both young. So those wide receivers are really good. Dalvin Cook is sick. Mike Davis will be an X factor for you. Noah Fant will be an X factor for you. But I mean, yeah, I think Dylan's team is underrated, but also every time Dylan plays fantasy sports, his team gets fucked. So I don't know. Maybe ESPN just knows something and doesn't like the man. I'm not sure, but I like your team. I think you did a better job than what ESPN said you did. Underrated. Number 10, the Rochester Roadfuckers, led by Lucas Janes. Lucas has done something pretty interesting here. I love his defensive players. Absolutely love that defensive side of the ball that he's got. So he's one of these guys where I think that actually could make a difference, where he's got Blake Martinez, one of the top 3 guys in tackles, as his linebacker. Joey Bosa from the Chargers at a defensive end. Jamal Adams as his safety, as a defensive back, I guess. And then his flex defensive player is Eric Kendricks. Like, those are 4 of the top, 15, 20 guys in football on the defensive side of the ball that are all on his team. Bucks defense, Harrison Butker is your kicker. Like, those are really, really good role guys. Russell Wilson's a good quarterback, but when you look at the rest of the team, the players that are supposed to actually score the points, and none of them move the needle for me. You got Juju Smith-Schuster, walking TikTok, Bobby Tunyon, Miles Sanders, Darrell Henderson. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a good flyer, but Kenny Galladay, Robbie Anderson. I don't know. They're all good role guys, but not good starters, I guess. That's kind of what I think. He's got Dak Prescott, too. So Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. If you can trade one of those guys, he's got Aaron Donald, too. Are you shitting me? And Michael Thomas. Okay. So I don't know. It seems like a very Derek Falvey, Thad Levine-esque kind of deal here with the Roadfuckers. You got a lot of guys that have upside, but could also just burn, and I think a lot more of them will burn than succeed at this point. But I mean, Lucas runs a tight ship most of the time, so yeah, I think he's overrated for this season, but Lucas is a good manager. He'll figure it out. Number 9, Cold McGolden, Mr. Hunter Lewis. You drafted J.K. Dobbins. Fucking F's in the chat for this man. God damn. Let me pull up his team here. Cold McGolden. Good name. We got a bunch of beer-related things in this league, which is fantastic. Mr. Bureau, Joe Burrows, your starting quarterback. Yeah, another team with good receivers. Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, George Kittle, A.J. Brown is your flex. That's really solid. But then the running backs are going to be what doom them, and he had J.K. Dobbins, right? So it sucks to lose him, and now your starters are James Robinson, the guy in Jacksonville, and the backup in Las Vegas, Kenyon Drake, who's a decent running back, but had a bad year last year, and is now backing up Josh Jacobs. Not something that you like to see. And then let's see, who's on his bench. He's got 2 on his bench. T.Y. Hilton's on the IR as well. God, dude. Zach Ertz is on his bench. So maybe you could trade him. I'm not sure. It just sucks. The depth is not there. You got fucked by an injury in training camp. So I'm going to say overrated for this year. Again, I also trust Hunter and his managing abilities. And there's a lot of good pieces for the years to come. Like, I think that this team will be good moving forward. But this year, just losing Dobbins, that's ass. What's going on? Welcome. Hey, friends. Welcome, Kevin Andrews. We have yet to name the house, but yeah, we're live. Owner of the Hermantown Hams has a hams. What are we thinking, Kevin?
I'm excited for this league. I don't think I had quite the analytic skills or instinctual skills during the draft.
Sure.
Sort of going my own direction with it, but
Yeah.
I did like my players. I think it's going to be a fun league overall. I'm not sure what you've talked about prior to this, but
yeah, you want to be
I'm
the color
excited.
guy for the rest of this? I'm through like half of it.
Absolutely.
I was just talking about Hunter's team called McGolden. So we're at number 9 of 12, and we're going like reverse order.
Okay.
So we're going through these power rankings, and number 8 is the man who we can officially say now is the only person to be one of 2 things, I guess. Be number 1 in all 4 fantasy leagues, so baseball, football, basketball, hockey. And he's also given the same name to each one of his fantasy teams. And this one makes the most sense for football, the Washington football team. And when I was looking through this squad, man, I'm wondering why the hell ESPN has him at number 8. It makes no sense to me. Just listen to the names here. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, and Mark Andrews is his tight end. Who's he got on his bench? Kareem Hunt, Antonio Brown. He does have anti-vaxxer Cole Beasley. That's brutal.
Come on, man.
Hey, owned in 72% of leagues. He's got to be on some team, I guess. But he's going to hit the IR at some point, so at least you can stash him somewhere. You got the 49ers D. You also have noted anti-vaxxer Harrison Smith and anti-vaxxer Adam Thielen. Jesus Christ. But the thing that's going to doom you besides the Delta variant are your running backs. Sony Michel and Leonard Fournette, man, I don't really know. So I think for this team, I know Tom Brady's on the block. We've already seen that in the chat. So if you're trying to trade Tom Brady, trade him for a running back. You do have Kareem Hunt as well. But yeah, if you can find another running back, man, this team is sick. But right now, I would put him at probably around the fringes of the top 5. That's where I would go. I mean, anything to add? I'll come to you for the hams for sure. But
No, yeah, I think the Washington football team has, a really, really good team. I mean, barring all of the anti-vaxxers,
they're probably anti-maskers too.
they're probably both. Yeah, I mean, I hope, for the health and safety of, fellow humanity, I hope they don't, get COVID. But yeah, I don't know. That would be the only thing.
Yeah, they gotta get COVID during Hams Week is what it sounds like. Yeah. Okay, number 7. Welcome to the Swag House Fantasy Federation, Graham Sparks, and his team, the Source Schefters. They have him ranked number 7 overall in the league, number 3 in the outstate division. So let's go and take a look at this team. What did I have written down? High ceiling, low floor. And I think that is fair. So let's take a look at the top end talent on this team. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Gronk is on this team.
Wow.
Deontay Johnson's the flex. I don't know. Baker Mayfield is on this team. But you've got him benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I did not even notice that right away. I would think Baker Mayfield would be the starter here. So, Graham, once you watch this, I would love to know why Fitzmagic is your starter right now, and if that was even intentional. But yeah, I see high ceiling, low floor over here because Julio's moved to a new team, and a lot of your like to separate yourself between the bottom and the top, because right now you're at number 7. To separate yourself into the top, you're going to have big performances from Julio, who has someone new throwing him the ball. It's not Matt Ryan. And then David Montgomery, who is he had a good year last year, but has been largely unknown as a young guy. He'll have to show out as well, because Derrick Henry's going to do it. You would assume DeAndre Hopkins is going to do it. Deontay Johnson with Pittsburgh, I don't know. I'm really like anti-Steelers this year, but that's just me. I could be super wrong because the Steelers always prove people wrong. But yeah, I mean, not as many Packers as I would have thought on this team, honestly. Adrian Amos is your starting defensive back, and then what? You got, calf man A.J. Dillon and Zadarius Smith. So, I mean, good on you for getting... and Randall Cobb, he's just wearing the Texans uniform. Okay, so, there are some guys. There's some Packers on the bench. You did your job, but... yeah, no, that's solid. I think this team could do a lot of things, but Graham is normally good at fantasy football, so normally it works out for him. Anything? Noted Packers fan, Kevin Andrews, as well.
As a fellow Packer fan, I appreciate the restraint in not picking all of your guys to be Packers. Are some of these former Packers?
Well, Randall Cobb was a former Packer, but now he is a Packer again.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't think any of these guys are former Packers, not that I know of.
Yeah,
because now the Cobb's back.
Yeah, way to get at least one on your bench. I respect that a lot. But yeah, as much as we all want to play the Green Bay Packers, I think the no Source
Schefters
is much better.
All right, so number 6. Okay, this is one of the most intriguing teams in the league, I think, and he always is. He always is. You can never count this man out. Basketball champion, two-time playoff. Reigning Greyhounds division champion in baseball, commissioner of everything. Needs no introduction, but I gave it to him anyway and kind of fucked it up. Isaac Schumacher and the St. Thomas Disciples. They started at number 4, have fallen to number 6, and I'm really not sure why. As Isaac does, he gets his guys. He has a list of his, capital H, guys, capital G, his guys. And he goes out and he gets them. Case in point, Alvin Kamara. Had him last year in the sleeper league, the ill-fated sleeper league, and single-handedly carried that team to the playoffs where or did he miss the playoffs? I don't even know. That league was fucked. I'm so glad we're done with it. That's beside the point. But Kamara was the heart and soul of that team. He's also got Justin Jefferson and Travis Kelce, just 3 guys that you would think, knock on wood for Jefferson, you would think those 3 guys will be able to carry the weight regardless. Matt Ryan is a solid quarterback, although I had him last year and that just did not work out for me at all. Najee Harris, a rookie from Alabama playing for Pittsburgh. That's going to be big for him, another X factor. And Marquez Callaway, this dude has been so high on Callaway as I think the lead guy in New Orleans. We'll see what Jameis, big famous Jameis, does he eat W's or steal his crab legs? I'm not sure. Antoine Winfield, Patrick Queen, she was just getting good guys across the board to go play for the Disciples. The bench, he's got Kirk Cousins there. Dude, what are you doing? You have 3 quarterbacks. Why?
He had 3 quarterbacks?
He does. He does have 3 quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston, and Matt Ryan. So you just, Ryan... Yeah.
I can't guarantee that I didn't also pick 3 quarterbacks, because I was on auto draft for a little bit.
I know who you guys. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, Commish, he's probably going to do really well, because he always does.
Yeah.
He's commissioner.
Well, he's not commissioner. I am. And Gavin is.
Oh.
He's commissioner of the other 2.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That might, I don't know, maybe he's taken a leap of faith with the Disciples.
There we go.
Maybe playing God a little bit, trying to play God at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's so used to being commissioner. I'm not sure. We might have to knock him down a peg, I think.
We'll have to try. ESPN has put him at 6. Huh? Oh, Shu is here. Shu is downstairs.
He thought that was funny.
Yeah,
probably very sarcastic.
Yeah, we're here. We'll see if he pops in. I hope it is. This is the beginning of the season, so I hope you guys are still here. 19, almost damn near 20 minutes in. I hope you stick around. But yeah, the quarterback thing, I mean, with Matt Ryan as your starter, I mean, you kind of have to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Dirty laundry, as some would say. All right, number 5. Number 5. How the fuck is this team number 5? The Mason Shitty, not City, Muppets. Gavin Sparks, I think, this is my prediction here, I think Gavin Sparks has done it again. I really do think so. First off, of course he fucking got Aaron Rodgers. I didn't even realize that. I was like about 10 deep during Swag Olympics, so I didn't really realize who anybody got on their fantasy teams, myself included. But yeah, let's take a look at Gavin, and he's got Rodgers, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, 2 guys that are just really solid as running backs. Keenan Allen and Allen Robinson. I am a huge Allen Robinson guy based off of having him last year. He was sick, even with Mitch Trubisky throwing him the ball. Keenan Allen, one of the most underrated guys in fantasy football. Kyle Pitts is about to be a problem for a long time. Lock that man up, and Gavin's got him. Tyler Lockett's your flex. That's a really good flex player to have. And the biggest thing for this team, I think, is the depth, the bench depth. Because on his bench, not even in a flex spot, not even scoring points for this man, Chris Carson, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, running back, wide receiver, tight end, 3 starter quality players are not even in the flex spot for this man. So if people fuck up, if people get hurt, it doesn't matter. I think this team, I have no idea why they're 5. I have absolutely no idea. It boggles my mind how the Muppets aren't number 1. And I'm number 1. Like, spoiler, my team's number 1. And I don't get why this team is not number 1. I don't know. I do not know. He's got Aaron Rodgers, and he has Marquez Valdez-Scantling, so he's got a couple of Packers there. Sam Darnold. He's got Matthew Stafford, too. What the fuck? Come on. Come on, man. Why do we let this happen all the time? Swear to God. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Any thoughts on the Muppets?
They won't be shitty, that's for sure.
Yeah. You're the Yankees.
Yeah.
You're the Yankees is what you are, Gavin.
Yeah.
Co-commish as well. If you're in the outstate division and have any questions, forward them to Gavin. If you're in the metro division and have any questions, please take them to me. We will be co-commissioning through this year and the years to come. All right, number 4. Ryan Beery. Ryan Beery. Welcome to the Swag House Fantasy Federation. Ryan Beery and his team of Fine Pilsner. I get to play him week 1 in the Beer Bowl. It's going to be great. Or I'm not the Beer Bowl because I'm the Millers. Whatever. I got to figure out another name for it, I guess. Whatever. This team, I don't really know. I feel like 4 is a good spot for him. Like mid-tier playoffs, just based off of the opening day rosters, seems right. Ryan Tannehill, DeAndre Swift, Zeke, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Darren Waller, Deebo Samuel's the flex right now. I think that's really good. TJ Watt is his defensive end. I don't know if that's going to move the needle too much. Again, defensive players, I don't really know how that's going to shake out. But TJ Watt is really good. Justin Tucker's the kicker, right? I don't really care. 2 really good bench pickups, I think, for wide receivers in Jamar Chase and Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams is a really, really good player that flies under the radar. But yeah, I mean, I think like 4-5 is probably about good for this team. I've always been down on Tannehill personally, but I mean, if he puts up numbers, he puts up numbers. X factors are Tannehill and DeAndre Swift, I think. Deebo Samuel too, after being hurt for a lot of last year. And yeah, Calvin Ridley and Amari Cooper, some really good wideouts. Zeke, you know what he's going to do if he stays healthy. Darren Waller, fantastic tight ends. Your pass catchers are really good. Yeah, I see playoffs in this team's future if he can stay healthy. It just depends on whether those guys can take the next step and turn a Fine Pilsner into a really, really fine Pilsner.
I think I'm going to want to sleep on a Fine Pilsner after having a Fine Pilsner, probably.
Well, I feel like that's a lager. And Kevin, it's time.
Is it time for me
It's
now?
time. You are the number
boy.
3 team based off of ESPN's rankings. Started at 2 and fell to 3. I'm not really sure why.
I have no idea how I even got to 2.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN likes your team a lot.
Apparently.
So let's see, and I like a lot of what you got going on because it's Saquon Barkley and it's Aaron Jones. Come on. I don't care that he's hurt. I don't care that he might miss a couple weeks. And he's already listed as questionable. Like, I don't care. It's Saquon Barkley and Aaron Jones. That's sick. And it's Josh Allen at quarterback. Like, this is the man. They got Josh Allen on his team, son.
I wanted Josh Allen.
Yes, and he got him. You got a couple of good defensive players, too. Darius Leonard was I think the highest projected defensive player in the draft. One of a very few group of guys on that side of the ball that I think could make an actual fantasy impact right away. And Devin White's a really good player. Like, there are some guys on this team that, I mean, I think ESPN has done well to do that, but the weakness, I think, is in having Brandon Cooks as your wide receiver 1 and T. Higgins as number 2. I like T. Higgins. You did good with that, but the wide receiving core is going to need some work.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham is here.
Questionable, but...
Yeah, he's questionable. I mean, he could be a wide receiver 1 if the Browns have a return to form, if OBJ does what he has been known to do in the past. Corey Davis, he had a couple good years in Tennessee, but is now at the Jets, so fucking rip. Jacoby Myers for the Patriots and Tyrell Williams for the Lions. Yeah, I don't know. There's one big Achilles heel, but you got a lot of positions that are rock solid. So if Saquon does what Saquon does, this is a playoff team right here, and we're going to be pounding hams the entire time. Did I say any lies? Did I lie about anything?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I appreciate the insight. As you were saying, if the Metro Division has any questions, go to you.
Yes.
If the out-of-state division has any questions, go to Gavin.
Yes.
If anybody ever comes to me with questions, you're doing something wrong. Okay? You've already lost. You've already lost the league. I know nothing. I'm just going to see what happens. But I'm excited that ESPN at least thinks that I'm top 3.
Yeah, top 3. And second in the Metro. So, number 2, and the preseason, as ESPN will say, preseason champion of the outstate division. This man was very, very... he kept his cards very close to his vest when it came to draft time. And he didn't want people to see his plans. They were apparently very detailed, the most detailed, as some might say.
He also kept them miles away.
Oh, yes.
Accessible only through Zoom.
Accessible only through a Wi-Fi hotspot, because our Wi-Fi, for whatever fucking reason, after 365 plus days of having no issues, decided to piss itself the one day that we needed it the most. So we got the man on the hotspot. He was there. Elliot Newman and the Trondheim Twizmas are at number 2 and are the division leaders when it's 0-0, because ESPN's got him at the top of the outstate division. So I think I've uncovered a flaw. Maybe. I don't know, because I think there's a lot of similarities between his team and my team, which are number 2 and number 1. Both teams are really, really young with a crazy amount of upside. But as I look at it as just a real life human person instead of an ESPN algorithm, there is no guarantee that these young players are going to succeed, because Elliot's entire offense, I believe it's Elliot's entire offense, maybe not his quarterback. Does he have Kyler Murray? I think he has Kyler Murray. Yes, he does. Okay, so Kyler Murray's in year 3 or 4? I think it's 3. But everybody else, Jonathan Taylor, year 2. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, year 2. CeeDee Lamb, year 2. Brandon Ayuk, year 2. Mike Gesicki, who cares? I don't know. Chase Claypool, year 2. Like, these are all guys that are in their sophomore season that have really good rookie years, so great guys to have on your team long term. This is a keeper league, and you get to keep all of those guys. So the Twizmas are going to be playoff contenders year after year after year after year, and that, I think, is what Elliott was going after. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he is the lockdown division champion, because a lot of these guys are still really young. The sophomore slump is real. These are guys that had great rookie seasons. I don't know how likely it is that all 5 or 6 of those guys can repeat what they did last year. So I think this is a playoff team. There is talent, there's no doubt. But I don't know. I don't know about a number 2 ranking for Elliott, because there are other teams. I think of the Disciples. I definitely think of the Muppets. I think of Kev's team. I think of Beery's team, even Graham's team, even Andrew's team. You know, all these guys below Elliott. Not saying that Elliott falls down to number 8 or 9 in my eyes. That is so far from the case. But all of those teams would have a shot. And football's so volatile too. I don't know if I see a number 2 finish. I mean, I could, but I don't think I would bet on it. I guess that's my thing. But do I bet on a Twizmas championship appearance in the next 5 years? Yes. Maybe even 3 years. Bank on it. Like, Elliott's going to be there. We know out of all people, Elliott is the manager of the year. Like, Elliott's going to do what he's got to do to make things happen. If he gets in the playoffs, it's not a team you want to face ever. So, I don't know. I kind of go all across the board with the Twizmas, I think.
If this man makes a PowerPoint the week before your matchup,
run.
Yeah, just run. Just dig your own grave. You're done.
It's over.
Right? If this man makes a PowerPoint, your team is done for.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there. That is something with the keeper, with this young team, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is something that I try and keep in mind, that it is a keeper league.
Yeah.
I don't always keep it in mind because I think there is value to having more seasoned guys, not relying on the keeper leagueness of it, right?
Yeah.
Certainly going to have success in a couple of years, probably. Elliott's just going to probably kill us all in a couple of years. But
yeah, exactly.
I do like winning from year to year, and so that's my only thoughts on Elliott's team.
It's very similar. I mean, not a lot of you guys aren't in the baseball league, but just to catch you up very quickly before we get to number 1, I know we've already done a long video, but there's a guy in the baseball league by the name of Grant Washburn. He went to Mizzou, and he had a team called MLB Pipeline Top Prospects, because baseball is a really big minor league system. So his entire goal was to beat ass the first couple years, but just get all of the top prospects on his team. So when they eventually rose up through the ranks, that he'd have everybody good and he'd take all of our money for years to come. Has that panned out in the first couple of years? I think he pulled the trigger on trading way too early. So a lot of people fleeced him. And now I don't know what the future looks like for him. But that is... Elliott's combined a little bit of both aspects here. He's got a really good future and he has a really good present. So I respect the hell out of that. I just don't know if he's going to be number 2 necessarily this year. But I think that's a flaw in the ESPN rankings, which is why this is the segue. Now it's time to talk about the Marcy-Holmes Millers, my team, number 1 overall in the ESPN rankings for this year. And it's very much the same story. I'm going to tell you right now, I did not try and do this. I did not try and do this stat that I'm about to tell you.
I'm looking at his computer right now. I can't really read it, but I guarantee that Isaac is probably not lying.
The oldest offensive starter that I have is Austin Eckler, and he's 26. It's not to the extent of what Elliott did, because Elliott, everybody on his team is like 23. All of his starters are like 23 years old. My guys go between 23, 24. Austin Eckler's 26. I didn't even know Austin Eckler was 26. I thought he was like 29, but I drafted him and like, shit, here he is. He's 26. Justin Herbert, Christian McCaffrey, DK Metcalf, TJ Hawkinson, and Austin Eckler. Those are, my core guys. I feel like Daniil Hunter's also my defensive end. Spent $7 on him. Probably shouldn't have, but I have Daniil Hunter, so I feel really good about that. The X factors for me are second-year running back for the football team, Antonio Gibson. He had a baller rookie season. I went out and got him. I don't really know why. I was, again, like 10 deep. I didn't really know who Antonio Gibson was, but he had a great rookie season, so it's a good player to have on my team. Huge X factor for me will also be DJ Moore, I think second year out of Carolina. He had a breakout season last year with Teddy under center. Now he has Sam Darnold. I do like the Panthers this year. I do like the Chargers this year, and I have a lot of Panthers and a lot of Chargers. So Christian McCaffrey, the last time I had him, went to a fantasy title. That was brilliant. So we're back. I hope that I can keep that going. I appreciate ESPN giving me the number 1 overall ranking, but it doesn't mean jack shit. And I look at these teams, and I don't think I'm number 1. I do think I'm up there. I feel like I have a good team, and I'm excited. But I don't see myself as a clear-cut favorite. I don't think anyone really should. going into week 1 because football, again, is so volatile. Any thoughts on the Millers before we go to the matchups?
I wish you the best of success, but I am going to want to kick your ass when I match up with you.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. As is tradition.
Yeah. I don't think ESPN is probably correct. I'd be curious to look through this list and see who I imagine ending up in the rankings.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I think it'll be exciting though.
Cool. I do think it will be as well. Mm-hmm. And it's starting tomorrow. I can't believe it's starting tomorrow. Let's take a look at the matchups. So, for those unfamiliar, most of you will be, but some of you I know are not. So, I have gone in and manually set the schedule up. So we will begin and end the season with Rivalry Week, which is your intra-division rival, which will probably go year after year unless there is beef somewhere that I can figure out and plan for next year. But a lot of these matchups will stay the same, and they will also be rivalry games across different leagues, as you'll see as we pick the game of the week this week, which has already been decided. How I'm going to do this, just based on what I think is exciting, I'll give you a Thursday night designation if the matchup is the worst of the week. Because I'm going to do it like TV. There's a Thursday night, there's Sunday at noon, there's Sunday afternoon, which is America's Game of the Week on Fox, don't you forget. Sunday Night Football, which is the Game of the Week title. And then Monday Night Football, which is, second place, really, in my eyes. So, the Thursday night game for this week, which obviously it's not it goes the entire week. I don't have to explain that to you, but I did anyway. The Thursday night game is Hot Chubb Time Machine versus the Roadfuckers. But the first time that Robert and Lucas have ever played against each other in a fantasy matchup in this new age Swaghouse Fantasy Federation. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
It will be interesting because they've been on the same team. Yes, it will be.
It's going to be a shit show. I expect no more than 50 points per team, honestly.
I'll go Roadfuckers by 15. That's where I'll set the line there. I'll pick Lucas to get it done. The 2 Sunday noon games, every game is good this week because it is rivalry week. But it is, excuse me, Jesus Christ. Respect Bowl 3 between the Washington football team and the Trondheim Twizmas, Andrew Schumacher and Elliot Newman. If you haven't heard, Elliot Newman respects the Washington football team. And Andrew Schumacher respects everything that Elliot Newman does. Respect Bowl 3 happens this week. Also, a Spam Town Classic in the Metro Division, the St. Thomas Disciples and Isaac Schumacher playing Cold McGolden and Hunter Lewis. So that will be a matchup over there in the Metro side. The Sunday 3:25 game, in my eyes, America's Game of the Week on Fox, is the technical best matchup between two teams based off of the ESPN rankings, and it is the Millers versus a Fine Pilsner. It's me versus Ryan Beery. It's going to be a big one. Over there in the Metro Division. I can feel it already. Not America's Game of the Week, I literally just said that. The Game of the Week in the Swaghouse Fantasy Federation. Sunday Night Football. Prime time. Carrie Underwood saying she's waiting all day for Sunday night. And it's Dystonia Bowl 3. The Hermantown Hams against New Brunswick Brain Damage. Dylan versus Kevin. Dylan Hilliker has never beaten Kevin Andrews in a fantasy game, period. It's only been baseball or basketball. I have had so many meetings today, guys. I swear to God, I'm fucking up so many words. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's only been fantasy basketball. They've played twice. Kevin won both times. Dylan gets his shot, but ESPN does not like the odds. It's Dystonia Bowl 3. Does the winner get to keep the progression and I Can't Help But Change CDs in their room?
Well, we both own separate copies.
Oh.
But I think that would be fun to have that be the trophy, for sure. You can't display it unless you've won.
Yes, unless you hold the belt.
Unless you hold the belt, you cannot display those CDs in your room. I don't know why one would want to display them.
So maybe the winner doesn't get to display them. Maybe the winner gets to take them down.
Right. Yes. As a mark.
No. I'm sorry. Winner gets to display I can't help but change. Loser gets to display progression.
I like that. We'll figure it out, regardless.
Dylan, you better be here 40 minutes in. Swear to God. And then the Monday night game, which is second place. It's the first time in the SHFF, as it is known, that we will get to see the Sparks brothers go at it. Graham versus Gavin, Schefters Muppets, in what I am calling the Sparks Fly Bowl. The first inaugural edition of the Sparks Fly Bowl. Yeah, so that's week 1. That we are all set. So this is going to come out Wednesday night. It's 5:30 right now. I can only imagine it's going to take damn near 2 hours to upload this thing. But that will mean, if you're watching it on Wednesday, that you have to set your lineups by tomorrow, or just make sure that your Thursday night guys that you want to play are in, the Thursday night guys that you don't want to play are out. The Sunday guys will be available to move around. And your Monday night guys will also be available to move around. But once a Thursday night guy has played, he's locked into where he's at. Just so you know that. I know a lot of you guys are starting to know that, but it's going over it and making damn sure that we all know what to do. Very, very excited to get this league started. Gavin and I have been talking about this for a long time. And it's just a really, really good group of guys. I'm talking as a commissioner at this point. I'm just very, very excited to see a group of 12 that is so excited about playing fantasy sports and playing fantasy football in a new way, a way that I have not ever done. It's just a little bit more expanded, a little bit more like the other leagues that we're in that make this federation, as it's called now, something that has been really special. Mm-hmm. So I'm pumped. Then just housekeeping notes, basketball draft, I'm not sure when that's going to happen. That's a shoe question. We'll just follow back on that. Didn't happen over Swag Olympics, but we'll get that soon. I guess it doesn't have to be soon because basketball doesn't start until mid-October. Hockey, that draft is still set for October 8th. I am going to go in and shorten the benches and starting lineups because I do not want to have a similar situation to what happened with football, where it ended up taking like 4 fucking hours to draft everybody's team, because I know that not as many people care about the hockey league as do about the fantasy football league, and even then football's was way too long. So we're going to shorten everything up for hockey and make it a little bit better that way. Draft is still set for October 8th. If you want to be in the hockey league but did not, or if you missed your opportunity, a lot of owners that are in are looking for secondary owners. So if you'd like to be a part of the league at least and learn a little bit about hockey, just reach out to me or anybody that's in the league, I guess. If you want a list of those people, you can send it to me. Kevin's there.
Do not reach out to me. I want to do this solo.
Hey.
If I'm going to burn,
he's closed.
I'm gonna burn alone.
Kev's closed. I'm closed too, I think. I'm sorry. I do want to do it by myself as well. But there are still people out there. I know Shu has taken Gavin. Andrew Schumacher, I believe, is going to take Alex Ciola. And yeah, there's a lot of other people out there that, if you want to learn hockey this way. It's going to be fun. And we have a lot of cool people from, Columbia, from Rochester that have not been a part of these fantasy leagues to make hockey cool because they know hockey. Mm-hmm. It's going to be pretty electric. I'm excited. So, parting shots, Kevin.
If you would like to get automated text messages right to your phone,
yes,
to make sure that you set your lineups, text me. You can, I don't know how. We'll figure out how to contact me, but I can do that. I'll just add your number. I'll let Siri do her automation thingy. And you will get a daily reminder or a weekly, depending on which league it is, to set your lineups so that you don't fuck up too terribly this time. So.
Cool. Well, yeah, very excited to have you be a part of this new era in fantasy football for us. Hopefully this league goes on for a long time. $20. I have not talked with Gavin about this, but I'm just going to say it now. Send your money to your division commissioner. So if you are in the metro, send $20 to me. And then if you are in outstate, send it to Gavin. I believe his Venmo is Gavin Sparks 14. I believe mine is Isaac_Janes. We'll be around, we'll be around to collect it as long as we have it. When it's time to give it out, then we'll do that. Mm-hmm. So, Yeah, week 1. Hey,
Week 1.
thanks for being there.
Drink some hams.
Skull hams. Set your fucking